What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. Now look, before we get stuck into all things Liverpool related, I've got a little song for you. It's coming Rome, it's coming Rome, it's coming, football's coming Rome. Yes, I have nicked that off Twitter. I won't apologise for it, ladies and gentlemen, I just won't. Italy did look damn impressive tonight, didn't they? I don't think they've conceded in about 18,000 years, and they seem to be winning every game, and they have a lot of their games in Rome, so yeah, they're looking good. They are looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Look, we've got loads to get through tonight. We've got the RAFA Benitez stuff, we've got the opening day fixtures, we've got some links to players to get through, and everything in between. So, and we did change up the background a little bit, just to see what you guys think of it. Maybe a permanent thing, we may mix between the two of them. We'll wait and see. We just thought this was a bit better for a time when Liverpool aren't playing and we don't need to be displaying Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and all that stuff. But how are we? Love the new background. Thank you, my nan's got bunions. Thoughts on Rafa, Gaffer to Everton? I will go into the detail on that, Jacob. Don't worry. I just want to wait for more people the chat to fill up a little bit so we don't go back over it and over it and over it. It's good. I like it. I mean, I like all our studios, to be fair. I'm very fortunate to have some great designers that I can call upon to do these things. So yeah, nice and happy. Love your content, said Fraser. Thank you, dude. Look, some good news to kick off the night with. As you know, Boyle are sponsoring our watch-alongs this season, and Boyle have been our sponsor in the late night agendas as well, which has been amazing. But for the late night agendas for next season, for the start of it, the first half of it anyway, we're going to have a new sponsor for our late night agenda news shows, which I'm proud to say is going to be Manscaped, because we've got quite a good working relationship with the guys at Manscaped. They were really happy with the ad that we made as well. And they've signed on to become the official sponsor of the Anfield Agenda Late Night Agenda news shows going from August to December. So delighted, absolutely delighted on that. I'm smiling every single day at the minute. Things are just good. And and it's you guys that I have to thank for all this, as always. Right, what have we got? Locatelli, OMG. I have to give Jack a shout out on Locatelli, by the way, because those of you that were over with Jack for... actually, I think it was when we did the opening game together, myself and Jack, with Italy. He did big up Locatelli. I have to give Mr. Gill credit. He did, and he was right. A couple of great goals from today, especially the second one. Ooh! That second one was a bit of filth, wasn't it? And look, Wales, you dirty fuckers. That was brilliant today from Wales. I mean, it was all about... It had everything, every element you want. The commitment, efforts, pace, power, speed, defending and numbers. I thought Wales were brilliant. So happy for all my Welsh brothers and sisters out there as well. Obviously I'm Irish, but I'll claim anything at this point. But there you go. Delighted for Wales. Delighted. Absolutely over the moon. Right, look. Let's get stuck into the LFC stuff. As you've seen, the fixtures were announced today, the opening fixtures of all the fixtures of the Premier League, and we can go through them and pick them out, but the most important one is usually the opening one, and we are away at Carrow Road at Norwich, and the last time we started the season against Norwich, we went on to win the league, so is that a good omen? I like to hope so, but nothing's guaranteed in life. But yeah, Norwich away, first game of the season, so let's see. It's not a bad start for us, I have to say, and I've also got some news about the AFCON as well, so remind me about that later on in the stream. Hurry up with the transfers. Well, you can go fuck yourself, Charlie. I'll do this at my own pace, mate, and you and your little bitchy whining isn't going to get me to do it any quicker. So, just for you, Charlie, I'm going to delay talking about transfers for a minute, and I'll do whatever I want on my own channel, mate. You don't like it, as I said, feel free to fuck off. I don't give a shit whether you watch or not. That is the difference between me and many other YouTubers, mate. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your arse. You don't like it, find out your own fucking transfer news, mate. Simple. Do you like it? I like it. I like the way I did that. Right, what have we got? How's my day been? Good. And I was very nervous today because I got my second injection yesterday, my second vaccination, and the doctor warned me that I could feel like terrible today, but I'm not too bad at all. Even the pain in my arm from the injection site, very minimal. And other than feeling a bit warm, I'm good. Yeah, all good. Rail seats in the Cop, we spoke about that, Jasper, last night, and Liverpool are one of, I think, 4 clubs in the Premier League, and Wembley, if I'm not mistaken, who will be trialling rail seats. Now, for Liverpool, the rail seats / safe standing will be at the back of the Cop and at the lower Anfield Road end, and I think I certainly know at Stamford Bridge work has already commenced to remove some seats and get them in, but You know what, I like it, and I like the way the club went about it, and I like the way that they went up and visited Celtic Park to see how it was there, and they were briefed by the police and the stadium experts and stuff. It was great, and I'm all for it personally, so yeah, that's good news. Anfield Agenda Crew 100, how are you, Capo Can? Welcome in. Look, ladies and gentlemen, do me a little favour, hit the subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and keep your comments coming, because I promise you we've got a lot to get through. Fair, Fabrizio said 40 million for Locatelli, some signing that would be, said Chris Young. He looks good. I mean, the passion that those Italian lads are displaying, if that doesn't move you, I don't know what will. Same with the Welsh today. I mean, it's just great. You can see these lads aren't getting the Premier League money right now there. This is just for the pride of their country, and you can see how much it means to them all. And I've been genuinely moved by the emotion in some of the players. Italy are looking dangerously good. There you go. What have we got? Malin transfer thoughts. Right, let me just check my notes, because I've got to always refer to my notes to make sure I give you the most up-to-date information. So the stuff on Daniel Malin is pretty much just what I spoke about the other day. There is a journalist that suggests that Liverpool are interested in him, but also Borussia Dortmund are interested in him as a long-term Haaland replacement. So what worried me in this particular article, as I spoke about last night, was in the article they said Liverpool could be interested in Daniel Malin, yada yada yada. Fine, no issues with that. But then there was a part of the article that suggested that Liverpool are worried that they could lose Mohamed Salah. And look, let's look at this in two ways. Firstly, if the worst came to the worst and we did lose Mo, we'd be all devastated. But secondly, we ain't going to be replacing him with Daniel Malin. I mean, let's be honest, if we were to sell Mohamed Salah, which nobody wants, we all want him to sign a new deal, it would be for an astronomical amount of money, and we would probably be going out and looking to buy a couple of big hitters, like we did when we sold Felipe Coutinho. So I got a bit confused by it. But that doesn't stop the links from coming, and there are links mainly to three forwards at the minute. Daniel Malin of PSV Eindhoven, Patson Daka, of course, of Salzburg and Zambia, and also ISAK, Alexander ISAK from Real Sociedad, obviously away at the Euros with Sweden as well. And we'll talk about all of the pros and cons of those situations over the course of the stream. Did I not say Euro? Sorry, I mean, a lot of the time, buddy, I just say random stupid shit and don't even know I've made a mistake. But yeah, my bad. Which striker do you think will sign? It's very difficult to say, because the truth is I don't know. Anything that I'm going to say to you here will be just an opinion, so don't take it as gospel. Of the three of them, in likes of probability, I would go like this: Daka 1, ISAK 2, Malin 3. But I could be completely wrong on that. This is just my reading of the situation, nothing more. But we will go through them all individually, look at the pros and cons, the prices and stuff like that. And there's another one. You guys asked me to dig into the stuff about Vieira from Porto as well. I've done that for you, so I've got a little bit of news on him. But look, there's a lot of people in the chat now. It's starting to fill up. So let's speak about the Raphael Benitez situation. I've seen some stuff on Twitter today that, quite frankly, has made me quite angry about the situation. So for those of you that aren't aware, Raphael Benitez is about to be made an offer to become the manager of Everton. Now, some people are losing their minds about this, but let me just give you my side of this, and you are, of course, free to feel however you feel. Raphael Benitez, my love and admiration for that man goes far beyond anything football related. What he has done for us as fans, obviously bringing us to Champions League, is amazing. But what himself and his fantastic wife have done for the city of Liverpool, apart from the £96,000 donation that he made to the Hillsborough Justice campaign, he's also done stuff like bringing kids, himself and his wife, and the charity that they have brought kids over to France to Disneyland Paris and stuff. So to me, anything Raphael Benitez is above football. The man can do no wrong in my eyes. Now, he's also kept his home in Liverpool, and it's always been his base. They love living in the city. And if he was offered the Liverpool job at any point, of course he would have taken it. But it is 13, 14 years on from when he left, and if he takes the Everton job, so be it. Nothing can taint his reputation with me. He has Raphael Benitez, he is a Champions League winner, but most importantly, he loves the city of Liverpool, red or blue. In my eyes, this transcends both, and his family want to do good by the city and want to live in the city, and You know, Everton aren't going to win jack shit one way or the other. So, you know, if Raphael takes up that job, it won't taint my memory of him. I love Raphael Benitez as a man more than anything else. So that's my take on it, ladies and gents. I don't know, you guys are entitled to your own opinion. Maybe some younger viewers won't remember the Raphael Benitez days. But, you know, Rafa always wanted what was best for the city of Liverpool, and for me that transcends everything, because him and his wife are just amazing people. So yeah, that's my take on the Rafa situation anyway. Ramos to Sevilla or PSG? Yes, Sergio Ramos today confirmed he is leaving Real Madrid. It was not a shock. Most people believed that he would leave Real Madrid because Perez wasn't going to pony up the dough. And interestingly, we spoke about a few weeks ago, apparently Ramos was ringing around his teammates telling them not to take wage cuts because the plan is to use that money to go and sign Kylian Mbappe. So the shithousery actually was warranted in this case from Ramos, and yeah, he looks like he may move. Well, no, sorry, he will move. Just as the gentleman said in the chat there, could be PSG, could be Sevilla, could be elsewhere. I do have a little bit about Christian Romero. Pro Gamer asks, what about Christian Romero? Right, so this article suggests that Liverpool are willing to offer €50 million for Romero to beat off rivals Manchester United from signing the Argentinian defender. Despite I've already splashed out 36 million on Canale, the Reds are ready to blow Manchester out of the water, and Juventus in the race for Christian Romero, and that comes from AS, a Spanish publication. Christian Romero is of course an Argentinian national. He's away at the Copa America at the minute, and he's put in some good displays for Argentina. Do I believe that Liverpool are going to go and spend €50 million on him? No, I don't. Not from the bits and pieces that I'm aware of. So, you know, Canade has been brought in. So, we what happens with Nico Williams could well add to the situation as well. But again, I just think that this is an agent or paper talk trying to ramp up interest in the player. So, I don't think that there's anything to it, but we have been linked with him from a couple of publications now at this point. So, again, if you guys have anything else you'd like to add on it, no problem. Lash it into the chat. Did I see Locatelli's performance? Yes, Sean. Italy as a whole were very impressive, and Locatelli, particularly his second goal, was excellent. Going to be interesting seeing teams rebuilt over the next few seasons with all the big names seeming to move on, said Ryan Cutts. Is there any chance of Suarez coming back? Because I've seen a couple of rumours lately. All I know about this, Jared, is what the man himself has said. So, yes, you are right. There was some talk, and I actually asked Graham Hunter about this. Obviously, Graham Hunter, as you will know, Spanish football expert, luckily enough, happens to be a friend of mine as well. So I asked Graham Hunter about this a while ago. And I won't betray his trust by telling you guys what he said to me, but I think where you can read to this is what Luis Suarez himself said after they won La Liga. He spoke about feeling loved at Atletico. I believe he's got 1 year left on his Atletico contract, and I think that that's where he's going to stay. So, yeah, no, as much as the rumours are out there, and, you know, we do have all got mainly fond memories of Luis Suarez, I believe he'll stay at Atleti for the season ahead. Neuhaus updates. There isn't going to be any Neuhaus updates. Now, the only thing I can say that I've learned over the past 24 hours about Florian Neuhaus, other than we're linked, is that he did have a buyout clause in his contract of €40 million, but that buyout clause has expired, so any club looking to approach Borussia Mönchengladbach would have to negotiate a fee. So unlike Canade, who Liverpool were able to go in and say, okay, his release clause is X amount, we'll pay X amount, and then the club are pretty much powerless. With Neuhaus, that clause has expired, so Liverpool will have to negotiate with Borussia Mönchengladbach if they want to sign Florian Neuhaus. That's the only little update that I really have around that situation, because as I'm sure you understand, he's away with the German national team at the Euros, and his future, wherever it might be, will be resolved after the competition. Still, a lot of people pointing that he's most likely the one Klopp's going to go for in midfield. But as I said, nothing will happen at that till after the Euros or till Germany's campaign is over anyway. Mohammed said, I was kind of disappointed when I saw Rafa links to Everton, but what you just said made me realise that he'll always be a Liverpool legend no matter what. Exactly. They fell in love. Himself and his wife fell in love with the city when they moved to Liverpool. And they've always kept it home. I think it's on the Wirral. I could be wrong on that. I don't know the man enough to know where his gaff is, but I think it might be on the Wirral. And they've always loved the city, always worked passionately within the city to help the city blossom and to help underprivileged people. And look, they're just good people. So, you know, Managers move between clubs. I mean, in Spain and Italy and stuff, they often change between rivals. It's not unknown. And Raphael Benitez would take the Liverpool job if it was ever offered to him. But at the end of the day, you know, if his family's settled and he likes the city and he takes the Everton job, so be it. It definitely will never taint him in my eyes. Do you like the Red Men TV? I don't know them, Fraser. I don't know Chris or Paul. I've never had a conversation with them. So, you know, they put out good work. I will say that, yes. Of course, I appreciate the work that they do, but I don't know them on a personal level. Anything around Raphinha? Absolutely nothing, Jared. It's gone so quiet around Raphinha from Liverpool links. And, you know, again, I'll say what I've said before. I don't think he leaves Leeds this summer. And I think with Bielsa signing on, which I believe he's going to for another year, then because his contract is only a 1 year, year-to-year thing, Marcelo Bielsa, so at his own want, I should say. It's not that Leeds won't give him a longer deal, that's just the way he works. Any Tielemans news? No. Any player that's away at the Euros, there's going to be very, very little concrete stuff around them because their focus rightly should be with their country at the minute. Now, of course, their agent could still be doing bits and pieces, but nothing will actually happen until they can do a medical, and they won't be doing a medical while they're away at the Euros. So, am I enjoying the Euros? I am, Ben. Yeah, I really, really am. I'm really getting into it, and I'm not somebody who's usually a fan of international football, but I have to say I'm loving the Euros, and it's a good way to keep us distracted till the Premier League campaign gets back on the way. So look, let me just quickly run through some of the big fixtures before I start to talk about the other transfer rumours, because I've got loads more to go through. So the opening day fixture is against Norwich City away, 3 o'clock. First big game for the Reds comes on the 28th of August when we play Chelsea at home. By the way, there was a beautiful bit of shithousery from Sky Sports. So they put up Norwich's first 4 fixtures and they said really difficult 3, and they made sure to bold the word 3 fixtures for Norwich to open the campaign. So 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th game was Arsenal. I love the shithousery. I love that they don't deem Arsenal a difficult fixture. Right, so Manchester City at home then we have on the 2nd of October. Sorry, I had to do my maths there. So, yeah, that game's down. They'll all be down as 3 o'clock kickoffs, but they will, of course, be moved for TV purposes. So, we've got Chelsea at home, Manchester City at home, Arsenal at home. So, a lot of the difficult games in the first half of the season at home. Going down through the fixture list then, Manchester United at home on the 19th of March. When's the away game against United? Manchester United away on the 23rd of October as well. Arsenal at home, as I said. The first derby will be on the 30th of November away at Goodison Park against Everton, and then we finish up the season with some difficult games, to be honest. We've got Spurs at home, Everton at home there on the 24th of April as well, Manchester United at home on the 19th of March. Now, all of these, if anyone's thinking of booking travel or anything, keep in mind some of these games could and will be moved for television purposes, for Champions League games, stuff like that as well. So they're the fixtures. Anyway, I'll let you look through them yourself in your own time. In my opinion, I think you have high levels of banter, said Yasir. Thank you, mate. I mean, I think most Irish people probably do, to be fair. We grow up being absolutely murdered in conversations with our mates. I mean, it's vicious when you're growing up in Ireland. We don't hold back when we're taking the piss out of each other. What else have we got to go through? Malin, right, let's get to Daniel. I spoke about Daniel Malin already. I've already talked about him. There is another one I want to go through. So Chelsea have apparently lodged a bid for Haaland. That's according to a journalist based out of Italy anyway. And if this is true, it's taking the piss, to be honest, because the report says that they've offered £60 million as well as Tammy Abraham in part exchange to Borussia Dortmund. So what's that, £65 million? Not many joking. That's very vicious towards Tammy, but certainly not the amount that I think would get anywhere near getting him at a Borussia Dortmund. So Tammy Abraham and £60 million, I don't think that'll do the job for Chelsea, if that is true, and if that is what they have indeed offered Borussia Dortmund for young Haaland. Akoni's wages are super unrealistic because he would earn more than Mane. I don't know what his wage demands are rumoured to be. Tiny Hunter, you know, another Lille player who's had a great season, did well at the Euros as well. Under 21s, France didn't go all the way, but I've no idea what his wage demands are or not, mate. Lewis said we've launched a bid of 70 million on Abraham for Haaland and we've agreed terms with Haaland. Again, Lewis, just talking about it, mate, they won't accept that. Now, you agree in terms with Haaland, I think that's probably true, but I don't think you'll get him at that price. I think even you would say it's probably going to be a good bit higher than that. ISAK updates. Right, let me just go to my phone again because I want to get through my notes on this to make sure. Right, so there is some news around ISAK anyway, at least according to a report that comes out to say that Liverpool are looking at Alexander Isak as a potential long-term replacement for Bobby Firmino. At least that's what this article suggested. 6'4", 21 years of age, scored 17 times for Real Sociedad, as I was saying to you guys before, last season in La Liga. And they say that Liverpool have received excellent reports on Isak. And the article goes on to say, the Reds see Isak as a replacement for Firmino in the not too distant future. They say Real Sociedad are fearful of big clubs coming in for their prized asset and even tried, without success, to get him to sign a new long-term deal and increase his release clause, which currently stands at €70 million. Now, €70 million is about, I think, 61, 62 million pound. So it's a lot of money for a young talent, if that's the case. When you see that Patson Daka, as an example, is available for £17 million, that's a lot more money. So I would imagine if Liverpool were interested that they would start the bidding process at extremely lower than that. And it goes on to say Liverpool are one of those who could make a move. They're closely monitoring the progress of the striker, particularly at the Euros. Klopp is said to be thinking of Isak to complement his forward line, but particularly to replace Bobby Firmino in the near future. That's what the piece says. Now, couple of things on that one. I always say, and I'll continue to say, Liverpool won't do anything off a tournament. So Liverpool, if they have an interest in this guy, the Euros won't make or break any decision making, because it's not club football. It's not around players that he's used to all the time, and any player can have a good or bad tournament. So I wouldn't say that will be the make or break for any potential interest. If we have interest, it will be a long-standing interest in the player. So again, one to keep an eye on, but I would be amazed if we went out and dropped 61, 62 million when Daka's available for 17. Marlon would cost considerably less, and what we could do with 62 million. Now, I'm not saying this to be a poo-poo merchant to try and dampen people's spirits, but we know what our owners are like with money, and we know that they like to look for bargains. So unless we lost somebody, I don't see us going out and offering that kind of money. What have we got? I hear Locatelli's available for 40 million. If that's true, I'd love him at Liverpool. Your opinion? Yeah, look, there's going to be a lot of he performed well in the Euros, jump on the bandwagon stuff, and it's easy for me to get drawn into that as well, but I'd have to look further. I don't know anything about the guy other than he's having a really good Euros. Vernon says, Daka, perfect fit for LFC. Did I talk about Rafa yet? I did, Kevin. Yes, I did. I gave my thoughts on Rafa at the start of the stream, and I'm happy to do it again towards the end. Thoughts on Matheus Pereira as a potential backup to Bobby. We do love a relegation transfer at times, and he is a good player, but I've not seen or heard anything to suggest that we would approach West Brom to try and get him out of there. So at the moment, I've not seen that, mate. Option, I think you mean say opinion on the Anfield extension. I think it's great. So the Annie Road extension has been approved. We're going to get an extra 7,000 seats, increasing the capacity at Anfield to 61,000. Work will begin almost immediately, and it won't impact capacity while work's being done. Much like the main stand, they'll start building behind it and then move the piece forward at the end and join it all up over the course of a summer. So again, good news. Another 7,000 fans inside Anfield means more chance for everybody to get tickets, and great news. So well played. Craig, what's up with your new green screen? It's just the background. We're just trying something else out. Just Connor was messing around today and had a little look, and we're trying it out. I mean, nothing's permanent. We'll switch between, but just thought we'd switch it up a little bit. Craig, what would your ideal summer be? So I'm over the moon with Canada, absolutely over the moon. If we add in a Daka, a Marlon, I don't know enough about this Isak guy to say if he would. He looks good. And then for me, I'd like a creative player of some variety, whether it's a winger, whether it's a 10, but Klopp seems a little bit averse to bringing in a 10, so we'll have to wait and see. And also a lot will depend on outgoings, the likes of Origi, Wilson, Shaqiri and a few others. And look, this leads me to talk about Grujic, which in turn will lead me to talk about the kid Vieira that got player of the tournament for Portugal at the under-21s. He's at Porto at the minute, and Porto's interest in Marco Grujic is real. Obviously, he was on loan there. He's happy there. He will be happy to make a permanent move by the looks of it. And Liverpool want around 15 million, maybe even a little bit more for Marco Grujic. But the piece that I read today suggests that, hang on, let me just get it up so I can read it out to you guys. Right, so this comes from Portugal and it's according to Jornal de Noticias, I believe. So they say that the 21-year-old is on Liverpool's shopping list and has a €30 million release clause in his contract. And Liverpool apparently are willing to give €15 million on top of Marco Grujic to try and get the guy. Now, in a summer where I think we'll see a lot of this type of stuff, in fact, we started the stream and a gentleman in the chat spoke about Tammy Abraham being part of the offer to Borussia Dortmund from Chelsea for Haaland. This type of thing could be more commonplace than it is in other transfer windows. So if we offer Marco Grujic, a player who, let's be honest, we haven't had at Liverpool in ages, so we wouldn't really be losing somebody from our regular match day squad. So if we were to go in and try and trigger that release clause, get Grujic to Porto where he is happy, and that's a very important part. Then get Vieira, a 21-year-old talented guy, for €50 million, and our initial investment, which I think was about 6 million in Grujic, if my memory's right, could be an incredible piece of business. Could be a very, very, very smart piece of business. And if there's one thing we know about Michal Edwards, it's that he's a very clever dude when it comes to negotiating stuff like this, and he's on the ball. So, you know, I know a lot of you guys had asked me to find out some more info on this, and that's all I can bring you at the minute. But definitely one to keep an eye on. Also important to note that he's now finished. You know, they went and won the European under-21s, and now he's on his holidays and whatever. So there could be conversations going on right now between Liverpool and Porto or his representatives. And if he does have that buyout clause in there, we do hold some cards in this situation because they want Grujic. We have Grujic. And if we want that young lad that has the release clause, could be quite, in theory, straightforward conversation. So let's wait and see on this one. Let's wait and see what happens. But definitely is intriguing, isn't it? Now, I'm still going to say I know very little about the lad. Haven't watched much of him at all. But you guys have been giving me great feedback on him. And a lot of people have been saying to me, he looks legit. He looks really good. So, as always, I've learned from you guys in this scenario. And could be good. Could be really good. I've already spoke about Pereira. Ryan, I think you asked the same question earlier on. Any new info on Nat Phillips? Absolutely nothing. But I would imagine Phillips will move. Because it won regular football as well. It's important to point that out for Nat Phillips. He's improved and had a great impact on our season and is a big part of the reason why we were able to get top 4 as well as Alisson's amazing header. Actually, top 3. So yeah, let's just wait and see what happens with Phillips. But his price tag will absolutely have gone up. What's a fair price for Daka? The price is £17 million, mate. It's €20 million release clause, I believe. So £17 million is the price for Patson Daka, which is just ridiculously cheap for somebody that banged in 31 goals or something last season. And, you know, I've watched enough of him to say that I'd feel confident that if he came to Liverpool, he'd be all right. He'd be absolutely fine. It wouldn't be too big of a step up for him. Owen McPartland's on the Bellingham train. I mean, a double choo-choo there, mate. I mean, I'm on that train as well. See, today he said that the only player past the present he'd swap shirts with would be Steven Gerrard. So I don't know if El Jude is dropping hints there, but one thing I can say is he won't be leaving Dortmund this summer. No matter what happens, he will not be leaving Borussia Dortmund this summer. So any interested parties in Jude Bellingham will have to wait till next year. But I definitely want us to be in the conversation. Cube asked, would I take Calvin Phillips? I know Jack Gill certainly would. Jack Gill rates the guy really highly. I have to say I've been sleeping on him a little bit. I haven't watched too much of him for Leeds this season, although I have watched Leeds. But the feedback on him has been amazing, and his performance for England the other day in the Euros was top notch. So could be potentially a long-term Hendo replacement. Who knows? I mean, it's important that I can't rule anything out, but you know, it's okay to ask me, but let me ask you guys, what do you think? Would you take Calvin Phillips as a potential replacement for Hendo in the long term? Craig, are you disappointed in Rafa? No, not one bit. Nothing will ever make me feel disappointed in Raphael Benitez, mate. I'll explain it again at the end, but, you know, he transcends football for me, Rafa, and what he's done. So, no, nothing will change my mind on Rafa. What about Pedri? I've not seen anything really to say that Liverpool are going in for Pedri. Now, he's got 1 year left on his Barcelona deal. I think Cesc Fabregas said something along the lines of, I don't want to say he's a shithouse, but he has a bit of an evil streak in him, and he meant it as a compliment. He wasn't knocking the guy at all, and I think Barca will do everything they can to try and keep him, but he does only have 1 year left, and I don't think we'll be in for him, but I'd be happy if we were. Anything on Coutinho? No, except for the 500th time, I will continue to tell you he will not be coming back to Liverpool. There has been links to Leicester, which I spoke about the other night. Brendan Rodgers was the man, of course, who brought him to Liverpool, and maybe he goes to Leicester, I don't know. Would I take Depay as a free agent? No. From what... Obviously, I don't know Memphis Depay, obviously, but he seems like a bit of a diva to me, and I don't think Klopp wants any diva-esque type players in the club. Now, I think he'll end up at Barcelona, as far as I'm concerned. Would I take Pulisic? Yes, in a heartbeat. I wanted him before Chelsea signed him. People laughed at me when I said I want Christian Pulisic at Liverpool. They told me he's completely overhyped. They told me he wasn't good enough. And I tell you what, I'll take him now again. I love Christian Pulisic at Liverpool. What have we got? The One Football video is amazing. Thank you, Vernon. And look, I need your help on this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's had about 5,000 views. We need to try and push that towards the 10k mark. So if you haven't watched it, it is up there from yesterday. It's 9 minutes 32 seconds long. If you get a chance, please do go and watch it. Bellingham or Mbappe? Bellingham. Bet you weren't expecting me to say that. But genuinely, I think Bellingham. It's far more realistic to me as well. Interestingly, on Mbappe though, here's something I found out today that I'm not sure if you guys have read as well. When I say I found out, I mean I read it somewhere. Not that I've got some great source on this, but we know Neymar signed a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain. But apparently, in his contract, there is a clause that says if Kylian Mbappe moves on, then Neymar can move on for, I don't know if there's a certain figure inserted in that, but apparently that is one of the clauses, or it's rumoured to be one of the clauses in Neymar Jr.'s new contract at PSG. If Mbappe goes, then he can go. So maybe that's why we're hearing the owner of PSG, or the president of PSG, come out and be so vociferous, is that the right word? In his belief that they will keep Kylian Mbappe there. What have we got? Pulisic's a real talent, would have been good business due to the open US market and jersey revenue. What I would say is, Brian, there is another American that I know Klopp likes and has been tracking for a while, and it is Gio Reyna of Borussia Dortmund. So keep an eye on that situation as well, because we've been monitoring this kid for quite a while, and he's a fantastic player, as I'm sure you probably know, but that is another one. But you're right, yeah, for the very reason you said, I thought we've got American owners, we've got a deal with Nike, and it would open up a whole new fan base to a certain extent, which is why I was surprised that we weren't in the conversation for Christian Pulisic at the time. Can anyone afford Mbappe? I think the issue would be more the wages, because if they are going to have to sell, like if Kylian Mbappe turned around to PSG and said, you can do what you want, you can offer me truckloads of cash, I'm moving, then they've got two options. They either let him go for free next year or they sell him. So I'd say the selling fee this summer would be affordable, but it's the wages that would be the issue for a club like us. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Mbappe. I'm very intrigued by it. Reina kind of lacks the strength yet. Exactly, mate, which is why we're tracking him to see how he continues to do. Barella looks class based on tonight. Look, Nicola Barella is a fantastic footballer, full stop. I've watched enough of him at Inter as well to say that you're spot on. He is a great talent, and excuse me, I have a bit of a hiccup. I know that Inter don't want to lose him, which is why they're open to selling Hakimi and stuff to Chelsea or to PSG to try and raise the cash that they need to bail themselves out of the little bit of financial trouble that they're in. Am I worried about the midfield next season? Nope, not one bit. We've got Henderson, we've got Thiago, we've got Jones, we've got Milner, we've got Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I think we may bring in another one, so whether it's Neuhaus, Vieira, and we've got Naby Keita, and I'm probably forgetting a couple more as well, because, I always forget things when I'm put on the spot. I knew as soon as I logged in there'd be so many people asking about Locatelli to LFC. Look, it's match of the day syndrome, isn't it? Where, somebody does really well and then all of a sudden everyone's asking, is he linked to us? Not that I'm aware of. Fabinho, yes, of course. How could I forget Fabinho as the midfield? Yeah, so look, I think we've got options in midfield. So, although I said this about centre-back last year, to be honest with you, and that ended up coming back to bite all of us in the arse, so... I suppose you can never have too many good players in a football club, but Klopp is the type of manager that doesn't bring anybody in just for the sake of it. He likes to keep people around that are going to be needed or used. Is Milner staying? Yes, I believe he has another year to run on his contract. Do I think Thiago will play higher up the pitch next season? I do, yeah. He could be, I won't say the 10, but he could be the key. Now, the real reason we haven't seen the best of Thiago, in my opinion, is that because he wasn't put in the midfield that he's supposed to come in and play with. So whether that be Fabinho and Thiago, or this season Gini or Fabinho and Henderson, or Gini and Fabinho, or Hendo and Gini, that was what he was brought in to play with. Now obviously Gini has moved on, and I think we will see Thiago get a little bit more license to roam, find pockets of space. But whether he does that further up the pitch or whether he does that deeper, I suppose that remains to be seen. Rafinha or Sterling? For me, Rafinha, if that was the option. Craig, we need Mo. We need Salah and Mane covers during the African Cup of Nations. Interestingly, I did look into that, ladies and gentlemen. So we do know that Naby Keita, Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane are going to be away at the African Cup of Nations, which runs, I think, from the 6th, or I think it's the 9th of January to the 6th of February. So what's really important to remember here, ladies and gentlemen, is that even no matter how far they go in that tournament, between those dates, Liverpool only have 2 Premier League games. And again, if my memory is right, looking at the fixture list, they aren't the worst of games as well. So it is going to be tough when we lose the guys to the AFCON. Of course it is, but you don't sign anybody to cover for a month, first and foremost. And secondly, I was relieved to find out that we're only going to miss are only going to miss 2 Premier League games. Now, there will be an FA Cup game in there, and I think there may well be... I know there's definitely an FA Cup game scheduled for that period, maybe even 2, but we'll only miss 2 league games with the guys. And Liverpool are going to put on private jets, I think, to get the lads back from the AFCON, or a private jet to get the guys back from the AFCON as well. So there you go. Bit of positive news on that. It will be just 2. Isn't AFCON moving? As of yet, George, it hasn't. So we got to just work on the basis of the information that we have at this moment in time. Yeah, two games isn't too bad, Philip. I was pleasantly surprised when I'd seen that as well. I mean, I was like you. I was going shit. We're going to have these guys away for the guts of a month. You'd imagine Senegal will go rather far in it. Egypt with Mo could do anything, could go all the way, you never know. So yeah, I was worried just like you guys, but I was a little bit more calm today when I'd seen that it was just 2 league games that the lads will miss. Thoughts on our fixtures? Yeah, not too bad. I mean, not the worst. I mean, some difficult games, of course, in the first 10 or so, but away at Norwich, opening day of the season. Last time we played Norwich the opening day of the season, as I said at the start, we went on to win the league. So, if you believe in coincidences or stuff like that, there you go. Brentford and Palace are the games. I think you're absolutely spot on, Jasper. Thank you, mate. They definitely ring a bell from what I read earlier on. So I think Brentford and Palace will be the games the boys miss away at the AFCON. Thank you, Jasper. Appreciate it. Good looking out, mate. I'm scared Mo and Mane will get injured at the AFCON. We need a replacement for them. So now we're buying players in case somebody gets injured. So we've gone from we're buying players because the lads have gone to the AFCON. So we've calmed that down. And now we've got people in the chat saying we want players in case they get injured. I mean, surely you understand that is extremely an unrealistic thing for us to do. It's unfair to the players you're buying, and it's unfair to the lads. It's just, if we're going to buy players, we'll buy them because we want them, Not for any other reason other than that. So, I mean, relax, mate, is all I'm saying to you. I know you didn't mean any ill feeling or ill intent by it, but you just chill. It's all good. Craig, during the season, could you do a monthly video on how our loan players are doing? It sounds like a whole lot of Jack Gill, that, Mick, to be honest with you. Again, though, it's another great shout, Mick. You gave me a good one last night. Do you know what, Mick? Can you do me a favour, dude? And I know it's asking a lot of you, so I apologise if you don't want to do it. Can you email me the suggestion you made me last night and that one to contact@AnfieldAgenda.com. Contact@AnfieldAgenda.com. And because I'll forget, Mick, and I've forgotten your one last night already, and I remembered that it was a great one. So if you could do me a favour, buddy, and email those to me, I promise you, we'll get them introduced for next season, because they're two very, very, very good suggestions. Sorry I'm a bit late. Never apologise, mate. Never apologise. You being here is amazing, and I appreciate you doing it. No need to apologise at all. Could I do a collab with Goldbridge when Liverpool face United next season? It's what makes that tricky is the argument around what channel do we do it on, because none of us are going to want to lose the views for that game, are we? Because it's a big game for Anfield Agenda, it's a big game for the United stand. So in theory it sounds great, and I agree it will be really, really fun, but the problem comes with what channel do you do it on, and somebody's going to lose out on a big game there. So yeah, we'll wait and see. I mean, for those of you that have been watching That's Football when the shows I've done, can I ask you for your feedback? And don't lick my arse. I want you to be honest, because I haven't been brave enough to read the comments during the live streams when I've been on That's Football with Goldbridge. So let me know if you've enjoyed those streams, because I'm sure I'll be doing a few more on That's Football throughout the course of the Euros as well. What have we got? I loved your streams with Mark. They're really good. Thank you, Mohammed. Your check's in the post there. Stream it on both channels. We could do, yeah, that is one option. It is technically possible to do that. Is there going to be match day vlogs next season? We don't do match day vlogs, mate, because we don't have a season ticket holder that can go to the games, or nor do we have somebody who may not even be able to go to the games that we know can do fan cams for us or anything. Now, if there is somebody out there who has the equipment and who is able to do it, we're more than happy to listen to the ideas, and we're more than happy to pay the person for their stuff, of course. No problem there. It's just, I don't have anybody I know is good enough, and anybody I know that can do it. So if we can resolve that, everything's on the table, and all suggestions are always taken on board. Good evening, Craig, you goat, said Lee. I went down to the... Well, I don't leave the fucking house, let's be honest. I said, my missus last night, both of us were roasting in the bedroom, and not because of the usual reason, because it was just warm. So today we said, look, enough of this nonsense, we need to get some fans. So I was, me being me, I went straight on looking for the Dysons, the expensive ones, 389 quid. Fuck that, says I to them. So my missus said, let me just go, I think I checked something. So she went down to Lidl, and she said, look, they've got 4 tower fans here left in Lidl, and they're only 25 quid a pop. And I said, get them in the trolley, love, get them in the trolley. So we cleared Lidl out of fans. So anybody in the Gorey area who was thinking of going to Lidl to buy a tower fan, unless they've got more at the back, sorry, we took them all. And when I say sorry, I mean I'm absolutely not sorry in the slightest. Nah. There's something likeable about you, to be honest, said Jensk. I mean, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, Jensk, and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right. I'm just a normal fella, Jensk, and I think people get to see that when they come into the streams. Benji, I'm doing really good. Oh, Benji, mate, you're making me sad now. My first teddy bear was called Benji. He had one eye for most of his life, but do you know what I mean? He was through the mill with me, Benji. I miss that little fucker. Oh, Benji. Right. Enjoyed them. Good. Has Rio accepted your bet yet? Nah, he won't accept it. Unless maybe United go out and sign Jadon Sancho and a few other players, and then he finds a pair, perhaps. But as of now, no. He has not accepted my wager. I mean, what's $5,000 to him? To me, it's a lot. I mean, to me, it's I'm sleeping on the sofa if I lose that bet for a good while. Muzialowski, Margaret, I don't know. It's just you've just put in one word and a question mark. I don't know what the plans are for Muzialowski. Obviously, it's important not to put too much pressure on the kid. He's had a really good first campaign at the underage level. Will he stay there? Will he go out on loan? I don't know, Margaret, is the honest answer. After the recent news of Ramos leaving Real, where do you think he will go? I think somebody in the chat might have nailed it. He may go back to Sevilla. So yeah, he could go back to Sevilla. Could be a good shout, that. Dyson fan isn't going in my team, said George. Yeah, I mean, I can't afford it. €389 for one of those things to just blow a bit of air on me. I could employ somebody to stand there with a bit of cardboard and wave it up and down at me for that type of money. No way would I was paying that. I mean, Ireland's only warm for about 5 days of the year. You know what I mean? No need to go mad here. Do you know when the Champions League group will be out? I don't. I don't. They'll have to get through the playoffs and stuff till they make the draw. So I'm not sure off the top of my head. Nice Black Knight t-shirt, thank you, mate. I'm just somebody that likes polo shirts, so I've got loads of them. And I like the polo shirts that have the silky kind of feel. The cotton ones, I feel that they go very hard very quickly. Thoughts on the Romero to Liverpool rumours? I spoke about it earlier on, Babosh, in the stream, or Babosh, excuse me. So he has been linked with a €50 million move to Liverpool, and I think United and Juventus have also been linked with the guy. Obviously, he's at the Copa America now with Argentina, and I don't really see too much truth to it, to be honest. But there's definitely links out there. What do I think about Adrian's new contract? As long as he's number 3, Jack, fine. As long as he's behind Queeving Kelleher in the pecking order, fine. You know, yeah, I'm fine with it as long as he isn't the backup goalkeeper, and it looks like Queeving is, so I'm all good then. What is the news for ISAK? Right, again, I'll go back through it, no problem. I understand that some people are coming in a little bit later. Right, so there was a piece today that comes out of Sport Witness that say that Liverpool are keeping track of Sweden and Real Sociedad star Alexander Isak as a potential replacement for Roberto Firmino. 6'4", 21 goals this season. And it says the Reds see Isak as a replacement for Firmino in the not too distant future. The article goes on to say that Sociedad are fearful of big clubs coming in for their prized asset, and they tried to increase his buyout clause, which is €70 million, and unsuccessfully. So that's where we are with Isak. Isak, Malin and Patson Daka seem to be the 3 forwards most linked to Liverpool. Do I think Shaqiri will leave? Yes. I mean, he's been available to go for a year now at least. In January there was a lot of talk that he was in conversation with Fenerbahce about a potential move there. I think wages may have been an issue, but again this summer he's been linked with Fenerbahce. I think he's been linked with Lazio and Sevilla as well. So yes, I do think we'll see Shaqiri leave. Obviously he's at the Euros at the minute with Switzerland, and that may not last too much longer because they were beaten again tonight, or they're beaten tonight, excuse me, I should say, by Italy, and beaten convincingly by Italy. So yeah, see, he could be home from that a little bit sooner than he may have expected. Craig, thoughts on the McDonald's third kit? I am extremely disappointed, Ben, because I'm sure we'd all seen the rumours of the yellow pinstripe shirt with the red round collar and the red pinstripes that was doing the rounds. I thought that was going to be the shirt and I would have bought it in a heartbeat. But the kit that you're speaking about, mate, I wouldn't use to clean my windows. It's horrendous. I can see what they were trying to do with the collar and the cuffs. There's talk of it being taken from the flags that were on the Kop during the 70s, and I get it, but I don't think they executed it very well with regards to the design of the shirt. Did I watch the Italy game? I did, yeah. And again, Andrew, extremely impressive dude, weren't they? Extremely efficient, extremely impressive. Craig, I think the Liverpool United match should be on your channel because you're the smaller channel. I mean, way to make me feel like shit, Louis. I'm only joking. Yeah, no, look, I don't know. I'm sure we may talk about it at some point. Who would I want, Isak or Daka? Daka, because of the price, 17 million quid. It is an absolute snip for somebody of his proven quality. Now, Isak obviously is a good player, and it's just, I don't think we'd pay €70 million. That's just my take on it. Now, if we could get him for less, that changes the conversation perhaps a little bit. Right, I want to just talk about Rafa again, because I know a lot of people came in really late and asked me about my opinion on Rafa. Again, I don't think that Raphael Benitez can taint his legacy to Liverpool. I just don't see how, because look at it this way. He won us a Champions League. He has a home in Liverpool and has kept that home ever since he signed for the club. Himself and his wife donated £96,000 to the Hillsborough Justice campaign. Himself and his wife do tremendous charity work, which involve bringing disadvantaged kids over to Disneyland Paris as well. So Rafa, for me, transcends football. And Rafa is somebody who loves the city of Liverpool, and that incorporates red and blue because, you know, Scousers are Scousers. Some of them are Liverpool fans, some of them are Everton fans. So I don't think anything Rafa can do can taint his legacy at Liverpool, in my opinion. I also think that if he was offered the Liverpool job at any point, he would have crawled over broken glass to come and take it. But with the manager that we have now, and potentially Gerrard in the future, that opportunity may never arise. And here he sees the opportunity to live in a city that he absolutely loves, as does his good lady wife, and manage a club in the city, in the Premier League. So it's been 13 or 14 years since he was Liverpool manager. So look, everybody's free to have their own opinions. But all I'll say is, to me, Raphael Benitez, the man, is a legend. And that'll never be tainted in my eyes. I don't see how it could be. The man loves the city of Liverpool, and that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. What else have we got? We're linked with Dusan Vlahovic from Fiorentina as well. Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting to talk about him, Mohammed. Thank you. Fiorentina player, 21 years of age. I can't remember what the buyout clause is or if he has a buyout clause, but he's certainly somebody that's attracting a lot of attention after a good campaign in Serie A with Fiorentina this season. So that's all I have on it, mate. Just vague links. I'm sorry I can't go any further into it because I don't have anything for you there. I think he is going to go to Everton, Michael. In fact, Everton are at the point where they're just about to put the contract offer to him. And Jim White from, actually he's a formerly of Sky Sports News, put that out there today as well. Actually, I think I have the tweet here, so let me just pull it up so I can tell you exactly what he said. Where was it? Paul Joyce as well tweeted out, Rafa Benitez expecting offer to become Everton's new manager. And then Jim White said, being told Rafa Benitez tonight on the brink of becoming Everton manager after more talks today. So it looks like he will take the reins at Everton and get to look at the cuckoo clock every day. Thoughts on the Craig to Liverpool rumours? He failed the medical, mate. They took one look at him and said, Faddy, Faddy, and then they told me to get out of the building. So that's not going to work out, unfortunately. I still love him, the man. Michael, as I said, mate, I love the man. One way or the other, I just love the man. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go off into the night and turn on those 4 fans around the house and get nice and cool. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, and hope to see you then. We have a video coming out previewing the England-Scotland game. Myself, Jack Gill and Leon from Boyle Sports sat down and had a chat around the England-Scotland game. That video is going to be coming out tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that on the channel. Please do hit the subscribe button, drop a like on the video. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, it's at Craig Holden, it's Houlden. And Anfield Agenda, of course, is just Anfield Agenda on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Look, lots of love to you all. I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Have